Welcome to another sponsor segment. On Your View, we have with us Mr. Rilwan Sunmonu. He's the MD of Noor Takaful Insurance Limited. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much.
We'll be discussing the 109 million surplus to policyholders. Tell us exactly what this insurance is about and how it's been so far.
Okay, thank you so much. Noor Takaful happens to be the first full-fledged Takaful insurance operator in Nigeria. We were licensed to operate in the year 2016, and we started full operation in 2017 with branches in Lagos, Abuja, Kano. And presently we have branches in Ibadan and Kaduna recently opened. Now, Takaful is all about joint guarantee. That's people coming together to contribute into a common pool of fund and to compensate any of them that suffers a loss within a particular period. Let's say, for example, as we are in here, we all are contributing into a fund. You know, it's something that we practice unconsciously, even in this part of the world. One of us wants to have an event, maybe a ceremony. We said, okay, let's contribute and assist her. That's the basic thing about Takaful, joint guarantee, people coming together to assist one another at the part during a period of need. That's the basic thing about the Takaful model. And if you look at the conventional insurance presently, what the Takaful model has done so far is to solve a particular question that people have been asking with the conventional insurance. I've been paying premium year in, year out. I've never benefited anything from this, my policy. For example, you have a motor insurance policy. Once you pay your premium to the insurance company and nothing happens, that's the end with that contract. That's why with the conventional, they call it risk transfer. That is, once you pay your premium, you have transferred your risk to the insurance company. But with the Takaful model, it's saying risk sharing.
Okay.
Because what we are doing is we are contributing into a common pool of fund for us to assist any of us that's in need. So that is what Takaful is all about. Now, by the time we compensate or we assist each other from that pool,
okay,
and something is left, there's a surplus or excess in that fund, that is what is shared amongst other people who have not benefited. So that's why with the Takaful model, we always say it's your win-win insurance. Win-win in the sense that either way you benefit from the policy. It's either you benefit by the way of claim settlement or you benefit by way of surplus sharing.
Okay.
So that's what the Takaful model, basically, that's what
all right, sir. So how would you assess the level of performance of Takaful in the years that you have been operating?
Okay, so far, if we look at the insurance industry itself as a whole, the level of penetration is still very low. If we look, for example, we take into cognizance the population of Nigeria, well over 200 million. And even the insuring fraction of that, say like 50 million, for example, I don't think we've been able to scratch the surface. So the same thing is applicable to the Takaful insurance, that's the sector. But what I can say is, if I look at it from the perspective of my organization, Noor Takaful, just like I said, we started operation in the year 2017. Between 2017 and now, if I want to use Noor Takaful as a yardstick, then I'll say Takaful has done very, very well in Nigeria. Let's take, for example, in the year 2020, our gross written contribution was 1.2 billion. As at the year of 2021, we did 3.7 billion. That's about 208%.
Wow.
Far, far higher than what is obtainable as a benchmark in the insurance industry. So I think, yes, it's evolving, let me put it that way, but we are doing very, very well.
Okay.
Especially, okay.
Who's very aware of Takaful, and I've always done, for the past 8 years, Takaful contributions. I would say that the approach in marketing it is wrong. For most companies, because people still approach it from a religious angle. So DC Top and Co do not know what Takaful is, and that's abnormal. If it is operating it is open for everybody. It's something
Secular
everybody
market.
should be able to benefit from.
Yeah.
So that usual marketing from a religious approach where they come to only the Muslims and the mosque is what I think affected, you know, the popularity of Takaful. It's something that everybody can benefit from, but
We're not
before
aware.
you came on the show, I was just telling him that I wanted connection to Jai's Bank because they have a policy for getting 0% loan. But I want to ask you about, you already said that Takaful, Noor Takaful, your own company, has been doing well. And then you mentioned that even better than the conventional insurance benchmark that is around. But when people are watching and are asking, how is it different from the conventional? Because really, like Nima said, some of us don't even know what the concept of Takaful is. You mentioned that you're getting...
They don't share
we don't, yeah, they don't share after. What else is it? How else is it different? What are the specific products that you believe would be important? Do you have car insurance? Can I insure my house? Do I still get to insure
my
other
life?
things? Like exactly.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. The Takaful insurance, it's almost the same thing like conventional insurance.
Okay.
Yes. The same product conventional sell is what we sell.
Oh.
Your motor insurance, your fire and burglary, owner policy, and what have you. Even the same thing is applicable under the life insurance policy that you just mentioned. It's only that the terminology is different. We call it family insurance and not life. So that's just the only difference you see in it. And in addition to what you rightly said, yeah, there's still a whole lot of public awareness that we need to do as Takaful operators. And just like you rightly said, misconception is one of the key major challenges we've been having. Yes, some organizations or some individuals may present the model in a very wrong way. It's something we've experienced, and that's just the truth. But Takaful goes beyond Islam. Yes. Let me mention something to you now. We reviewed our portfolio recently, and we found out about 35% of our participants, that's our customers, are non-Muslims. Even as our staff, it's a mix of both Muslims and Christians. In fact, I start to say it here. The last managing director of Noor Takaful was a Christian, a pastor. So for you to understand that what we are giving out is value.
Beyond
I
religion.
think, yes, people are beginning to understand that. The onus is now on us, just like you rightly said, for us to ensure that we present this concept, this model to people the way it is. Yes, we are guided by the Sharia principles. There are some investments we cannot go into if they are halal. We can't invest in alcohol, casino, gambling, and what have you.
Oh, okay.
Those are the basic things. And we cannot insure such businesses. So those are just the basic differences. Just like I always tell people, if you look through our policy documents, you see it word for word, virtually the same thing with the conventional. The only clause you see that differentiates us from them is what we call the Takaful clause, which tells you everything I've mentioned here that differentiates us
On the other,
from the regular
so according to
insurance.
NICOM's reports, this Takaful contributes less than 1% to insurance. And you're thinking, do you really see a projection? Do you really see a growth and acceptance of this type of insurance growing in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you so much. Just like I told you earlier, there's a massive market out there for us. So the onus is on us to see how we can tap into that market. And one of the key things we've been able to achieve over the years, for example, let me use my company again, is the issue of trust. That's one of the major challenge insurance has in Nigeria, trust. People are always like, look, my past experiences, the experiences I've had from people. So they're always skeptical when it comes to the issue of insurance. With Noor Takaful, what we've been able to do over the years is to meet up with promises that we have made. And one of the key selling points we have is the issue of surplus distribution. Now, in our first year of operation, after the expiration of the first set of policies, people were expectant that when are you paying us the surplus that you promised? And some persons were not patient enough. They moved their businesses out because the surplus distribution was not coming as they expected. But, you know, there's a process to settling surplus.
Right.
Time will not permit me to go into that, into details. There's a process we go through, get approval from the regulator and others before you pay it. So they couldn't wait. But behold, after like 2-3 months, when we were willing to now distribute surplus, we now wrote out to them that you are entitled to so amount. They're like, I'm telling you, the following year, they brought those businesses back. And as I speak with you, since 2017, about 95% of our customers are still being retained in our books.
Wow.
So to a large extent, it shows you the level of trust we've been able to build over the years. So what I see the Takaful model doing in the market now is we've impacted the market in such a way that even the conventional insurance companies are beginning to see us as serious competitors in the market, because the value we are giving out there, they can't give it. So I see that opportunity as very massive. And we in fact, the sky is just the beginning for Takaful in Nigeria.
Okay, so we'll be wrapping up with you, but is there any advice you'd like to give someone who has not subscribed at all? I mean, as we wrap up on this, to Takaful, because I'm hearing it for the very first time.
Me too.
I've never heard of it in my life. So, and especially for non-Muslims. So I'd like you to say a few things to let them know that it's okay for them to, and how do they find you, and how do they find your website or something? Just tell us.
We are on the website www.noortakaful.ng. And you can also reach us at info@noortakaful.ng as well. Our office is at 170 Bagada Expressway in Bagada, directly opposite UPS. And just like I said, we have branches in Ibadan, Lagos, Kano, and Kaduna. And we are also looking at moving into the South very soon. We are already working on that. And that's part of the answer to the question you asked. You asked concerning non-Muslims. For what we are selling is value, and I want people to appreciate us from that perspective. What we sell is value. We don't discriminate concerning our marketing.
I like what you said about the Sharia, because when people like me hear Sharia, I'm like, Sharia. But when you just said it's about halal, don't do this, don't do this. No, because when you hear Sharia in my head, it's like cut hands.
Cut hands.
It's so sad. That's all I think when I hear Sharia.
English, ethical insurance.
Ethical, God bless you. So it's good to have information. Sharia is ethical. Fantastic. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure having you on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, you've learned quite a few things already. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.